Like you're never, when on social media, we're never seeing like the first picture that somebody takes. We're seeing like the 20th picture that they take, and the 19 that weren't absolutely perfect are just discarded. And this is the measure of beauty that we're holding ourselves up to. Hey everybody, it's Darnell, and thanks so much for tuning in today. Today I'm going to be talking about something that is very sensitive and is very personal to me, and that is loose skin and body positivity. It's one of those things that I feel is not talked about enough for a variety of reasons, and that's why I think it's important for me to discuss this topic. When I was 320 pounds and I started the process of losing weight, I had this idea in my mind of what the perfect body was going to look like and what that experience was going to be like for me after I lost a certain amount of weight. So, I dropped 10 pounds, then 20 pounds, then 50 pounds. And I started to look in the mirror, and I noticed that even though I felt a lot better, even though the scale was changing, even though my clothes were fitting better, like what I was seeing in the mirror still wasn't meeting the expectations that I had in my mind. So I started to ask like different people at the gym I was working at like questions. I'm like, hey, like, I lost a good amount of weight. Do you think like eventually this is gonna go? Because my problem areas were my chest. I had the man boobs and also my gut as well. The rest of my body, I never really had much fat on, but though that's just where the fat went to on my body. And everybody just affirmed me like, hey, yeah, don't worry about it. If you just lose more weight, like it'll go away eventually. And then, I dropped 50 pounds, then 60 pounds, and 70 pounds. And then when I got to 100 pounds, I noticed like, okay, even though I lost 100 pounds, which is a lot, the person that I'm seeing in the mirror is still not who I expected to see after I was done with the journey. And that's when I really started to do research on loose skin. It got to the point where as I was going through the process and this second wave as well, I was like obsessing over looking at YouTube videos about like, oh, this cream will fix your loose skin, or if you just drink water, it's going to fix your loose skin, or all these different things. And from everything that I've seen, there is no actual solution outside of surgery. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But in any event, I think the problem becomes that when we develop these ideas of beauty in our minds, like we're comparing ourselves a lot of times to this arbitrary measure of beauty that we see on social media or from companies that are marketing certain products or whatever it is. And it's really like unfair to ourselves to compare ourselves to like literally people's best pictures or people's best moments, or like when on social media, we're never seeing like the first picture that somebody takes. We're seeing like the 20th picture that they take, and the 19 that weren't absolutely perfect are just discarded. And this is the measure of beauty that we're holding ourselves up to. So when it came time to like lose all this weight and I get to the finish line and I'm seeing loose skin, it was definitely discouraging for me. And that was just something that I had to deal with mentally. And then pretty soon I started to realize that a lot of this was like all mental, right? How am I thinking about myself? How am I thinking about the journey? How am I thinking about the process? And what really started to bring me peace was having this extreme focus on just loving the process and making sure that every day I am the best version of myself. And that's all that I can really control. And I got to the point where I was at peace with that. A little bit of history about myself and why this topic is so important to me to discuss. Growing up, one of the things that gave me like anxiety, and I'm talking about like real anxiety and stress, was taking my shirt off in public. So that could be anything from, even though I was an athlete, right? Like taking my shirt off in the locker room in middle school was just uncomfortable for me. Or for example, one of the worst experiences for me was if I got invited to a pool party. Oh God, that was so uncomfortable because when I was in the car, I'm like literally thinking about like, okay, what am I gonna do? There are three options that I have. The first option that I have is when I get there, I can take off my shirt really quickly and jump into the pool before anybody notices. Maybe I could sneak in there, and then if the entire time in the pool I just like keep my body submerged underwater, nobody's gonna be able to see the stretch marks and my fat and all this stuff, right? And that just isn't healthy just mentally, right? Because I'm at a pool party with my friends and I'm sitting here thinking about like, oh, as long as I don't show my body and like keep my body submerged, and that's not healthy, right? Mentally. And then the second option was like, okay, I'll go into the water, but I just won't take my shirt off, right? Because then if I don't take my shirt off, they won't see my body, right? But then that's also not like realistic or practical, because now not only like, yeah, I'm covering my body, but they know why I'm covering my body because they already know that I'm bigger. But now it's not just that they know that I'm bigger, but they also know that I'm self-conscious about my size because I have this shirt on in the pool. So that was uncomfortable. And then the third option, which is probably the worst option of all, but several times this is where it ended up, is I just wouldn't go in at all, right? So I would like just find an excuse as to like why, to convince people that I didn't really want to go in anyway, or like I don't feel like getting wet, like because then I'm black, I'm gonna get ashy or something. The chlorine is gonna make my skin do something different, like just trying to find some kind of excuse not to go in. And that's also like just tough, because then it's like it's the middle of the summer, it's 100 degrees out, I'm sweating profusely, and everybody's in this water just having a good time, and I'm just sitting on the sideline like not participating, not engaging, not having a good time with my friends in my youth. So that was like one really difficult situation that I found myself in often, whether it was at camp, day camp, sports, whatever it is, or just a general pool party at a friend's house. Another situation, because I was an athlete growing up, that was really hard for me was, or just really daunting, was like whenever we had shirts and skins during basketball. Oh my goodness! Like I would literally, when coach would say, "Okay, guys, we're gonna go shirts and skins," I would just start praying. I'm like, Lord Jesus, please let me be shirts. Please let me be shirts. And anytime he would say, "Okay, Darnell, skins," like in my mind, it's like almost slow motion. Like I feel like everybody's just like watching me as I slowly take off my shirt and then like reveal this thing. And the truth is, they probably didn't care, but I was just always self-conscious about taking off my shirt. So when I started the process of losing weight, one of the things that I thought to myself was like, I had this vision of being able to take my shirt off at a pool party and just feel comfortable. Or I had this vision of being able to go to a beach and take my shirt off and just be completely invisible, like not bigger than anybody, not smaller than anybody, just completely unnoticeable. And then when I started the process of losing weight and I started to see like loose skin, that like idea started to go out of my head, and then I had to come to grips with this idea that, you know what, Darnell, you're not perfect. And your body's not going to be perfect. But that's okay, right? Because we're human, right? We're human. It's okay to not be perfect. I think that's one of the disservices that happens with social media, beyond the fact that like we're literally seeing everybody's highlights. Like remember that. When you're looking on a post, you're seeing everybody's highlights, their best moments, the best part of their relationship, right? You're not seeing the arguments. You're seeing the picture from the vacation that they went on and them smiling, right? Like you're not seeing like all the mess ups in people's lives. You're seeing the people's highlights. So that's one disservice. But I think the other disservice is the fact that like we haven't given people this range to be okay with being imperfect and okay with being unsatisfied, and differentiating the difference between being happy and being satisfied, right? Like I can be completely happy with myself, I can be at peace with myself, but also still be unsatisfied and try to be better. So when I go to sleep at night, I have this understanding that like, okay, Darnell, I am imperfect. And that's okay. That's beautiful. Because of the fact that like being imperfect is what makes me human. There are things in life that, yeah, like I can be better at. There are things in life that I probably will never be better at. And that's okay. I'll pursue those. But at the end of the day, as long as I know that I'm being the best version of myself and I'm controlling what's within my control, then that's all that I could do, and I have to be at peace with it. So this is something that I just wanted to talk about. Really the mindset in terms of how we feel about ourselves. I'm not going to take my shirt off in this video. I did do an imposter video that you can check out. And the reason I call that video imposter is because I felt that like no matter how much weight I lost, that I was going to be exposed as a fraud in fitness, right? Like I always felt that I was going to be exposed where it's like it doesn't matter how much weight you lost because of your loose skin. Like I always felt that no matter what, when I look in the mirror, I was going to be that 320-pound person. And that's why I called it imposter. But, now I think that as I'm moving forward in my journey, that I just want to make sure to let you know that like you're not alone. This is very normal if you've lost a good amount of weight. I have some loose skin. I have some loose skin in my chest. I have some loose skin in my stomach. Yes, I understand that my loose skin is not as pronounced as other people's are, but it's still my burden. It's still something that I carry with myself, and it's something that I'm looking forward to, like just kind of working with, right? So my goals this year, last year, my goals were to lose weight. So I was in like a fat loss stage. And this year, my focus is really to just build muscle and try to fill in the loose skin, right? Just to see what that's like. And maybe I'll be able to do it, maybe I won't be able to do it, but I'm going to enjoy the process. Will I get surgery down the road? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know, but it's not something that I'm planning on doing anytime soon, because I wouldn't want to cheat myself of the process of learning my body and learning how my body reacts to different things, learning the process of what it's like to like build a muscle, and just really getting to know myself and my health and my habits a little bit more. So I'm really looking forward to that process over the next couple of years. But yeah, so I really just felt it was important to talk about this, to let you know that 1, you are not alone. 2, loose skin is normal. 3, you are doing a great thing by losing weight. Do not focus on, losing weight healthy, right? Like in a positive way, which we'll talk about down the road. But like, if you're on this weight loss journey, you're doing a great thing for you. You're doing a great thing for your family. You're doing a great thing. If you're married, you're doing a great thing for your spouse. If you're a parent, you're doing a great thing for your kids. If you have parents who love you, you're doing a great thing for them, and you're just doing a great thing for yourself, because you're giving yourself an opportunity to live a better life and live a longer life. And no matter what, whether you have loose skin or you don't have loose skin, or you have a little loose skin or you have a lot of loose skin, you are beautiful. You are perfectly imperfect. And as long as you're doing everything you can to be the best version of yourself today, you are exactly who you are supposed to be today, and you are exactly where you are supposed to be today. Be at peace with knowing that you're the best version of yourself. And that's all I'm going to say about this topic for now. I'll probably be doing some follow-up videos on my Instagram channel, so make sure to follow me. And if you have any questions, just post them in the comments, and I'll see if I could touch on them at some point. With that said, I do want to leave you with a life mantra of mine that I'm probably going to be saying at the end of each of my videos. So guard your goals, protect your time, love the process, live to failure. Please do not forget to like. Please do not forget to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.